This is KC3YWT. Today I'm going to be making a video on how to install Allstarlink 3, Echolink, and the Allmon3 Dashboard on a Debian 12 install. And all the notes I have on this nice Google Doc. I'll put a link for that down in the description. It helps out a lot if you read off that and watch the video at the same time. If you have a couple monitors or you want to switch back and forth, but I am literally reading right off this doc. So if you're confused on anything I'm doing, and I'm not going to take my time when running each command, so you'll have to go in the Google Doc and copy and paste those commands, unless you're able to pause and find the right spot where you can type it in manually, but copying and pasting off this doc will be much quicker. So first, during the Debian 12 install, you'll get to a part where it asks you some stuff you want to install. I recommend not installing the Debian desktop environment, and then the GNOME display manager you would disable with that too, but you shouldn't need that for the purpose of an Allstar node unless you're putting the node on just your main computer and you're running Linux. You wouldn't need to install that. But when you're there, make sure you install the web and SSH server. If you did not install the web and SSH server and you're already in your fully installed Debian, there are a couple commands here that you can run to install it once you're already in Debian and it's installed. I'm just going to go ahead and do them real quick for the purpose of the video. So first, just make sure everything's up to date. And as you can see, mine is. Then install the web server, and it's already installed on mine along with the SSH server. And you can see that mine's good. Next, we're going to install Allstarlink 3. First, go into the TMP directory. We're going to run this line. Now, on Debian 12, I was having problems with the next line. If you're reading right off the Allstarlink manual, just right off Allstarlink itself on how to install it. I found on Debian 12 that you have to run this command, or the command after this will not work. I'm not exactly sure what it does, but it seems to fix it. Yeah, this command would not work right unless you run that first line. I don't know why it's like that, but I did put that in the Google Doc for you. But yeah, that should be good now. And then just update command. Yep, just to make sure the installer's up to date. And then to install Allstarlink 3. And this will take some time. So I'm gonna go ahead and pause the recording, and then I'll be back when it's done installing. Okay, so my Allstar 3 is now finished installing. Before we start configuring Allstarlink 3, make sure that you have an Allstar server and an Allstar node set up over on allstarlink.org. If you have not, make sure you go and do that now. So you'll have to make an account if you don't have one. Then under portal, you need to create a server. And in the server is where you will set your IAX port, which is how your node connects to Allstar and how other nodes connect to you or you connect to other nodes. But the server settings, you need to make sure that the IAX port is set correctly. If you're not running anything else on your local network that would be using that port, you can leave it as the default. In my case, mine is set to 4568 instead of 4569 because I'm running a free PBX system which uses the default IAX port. So I had to change mine. You shouldn't have to change yours. And then under portal, you need to create a node. And I will show you this part for just the purpose of the video. I am changing the password, so don't even think about it. But you have to apply for it. Mine took 5 or 6, well, about 4 to 6 hours, somewhere in there, for them to give me the node. But you can see node number, password, and then just call sign. Keep this on hand somewhere. You'll need it here soon. But as long as you've done that, you're good to go. We're going to go ahead and configure Allstar3 now. So type in ASL-menu. Doesn't matter what directory you're in. And you want to go to node settings, Allstar node setup menu, and then the node number. So in my case, over on the allstarlink.org under nodes, mine is 64074. Then it's going to ask for the node password. That's the password I just showed you. That'll be under the node on allstarlink.org. So I'm just going to copy and paste that in there. I have no repeater connected to this, so I'm going to put this at none of the above for now. Then it'll take you to this, the node password. I entered mine in there. I guess it didn't register it. It should have. But go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and put that in again, and then your node call sign. Put that in. Simple USB. I'm going to leave that as is. Duplex type. That can stay as is. Post node status. If you want your node to be displayed on allstarlink.org along with all the other nodes, you can set this as yes. The default is no. I am going to turn it on, because that's just how I like to have it. After that, you can back out of this. It's going to prompt you to restart Asterisk, but first, if you had to change your IAX port from the default, make sure to go into here and put the new one in. After that, go ahead and restart Asterisk. Okay. So now the next step would be port forwarding. If you want other people to be able to connect their nodes to your node, you need to port forward that IAX port. The default was 4569. If you want people to be able to connect to you from their node, you need to port forward that. If you don't want people connecting to you, you don't have to port forward it. You don't have to port forward anything. For you to be able to connect to other nodes, you only have to port forward if you want other nodes to be able to connect to you. But just make sure you're allowing the 4569, that's the default, but the IAX port, make sure you're allowing all the outgoing through that port for IAX. Make sure you're allowing that if you have a pretty secure firewall. And that's just using UDP. Is the protocol. So if you want other people to be able to connect your node, then go ahead and port forward the IAX port through UDP. If not, just make sure Um, it's allowing all outgoing through them. Some final things. Well, now, if you've followed everything correctly, you should have a fully functioning Allstar3 node. I was just gonna go over connecting to other nodes and disconnect from other nodes real quick. That's all I'm going to be showing in this video. There's plenty of other stuff you can find online if you want to know how to use those other commands. But to do that, you want to go into the Asterisk client. To connect to another node, it is rpt fun. I don't know what that was, but okay, that should be good now. When I was copying and pasting my password, just make sure you hit submit on allstarlink.org after you're done copying and pasting everything, and you should be good. I had to go do that real quick, and it's good now. But back to where we were. To connect to other repeaters, it is rpt fun, your node number. Mine is 64074. Space. And then connect is *3. Disconnect is *1. And you put the node number you want to connect to right after that. No space in between the *3 and *1. But *3 to connect and *1 to disconnect. And this should work. Unless I didn't do anything right. But yep, you can see there, call accepted. And it's doing that now. So it did connect successfully. And then I'll go ahead and disconnect. So rpt fun 64074, which is my node number, and then *1, and I'm just connecting it to my other personal node that I use for everything. And then you can see hung up there, it disconnected. And then it's just saying telemetry, just saying out that it's disconnected. If you had any problems, feel free to comment down below or email me. But now we're going to move over to setting up Echolink. So you obviously need to exit out of this, and then leave the menu. I'm gonna go ahead and clear everything. And then to start setting up Echolink, we need to go into this directory. Then we are going to edit this. So, obviously your call sign. Everything that says it needs changed, to the right of it needs changed. And here, if this is just a link, put your call sign -L, no space in between. Make sure to put it in all capital. If this is a repeater with an actual repeater connected to it, do -R. So L is for link and R is for repeater. Password, you put the password, whatever password you want to use for Echolink. For name, obviously your name. So I'm going to go ahead and put mine. QTH, your location. I'm just going to put PA for now, because I'm not going to be using this node. This is just for showing you guys how to do stuff. Email. And leave this blank for now. Down here you can put just some other stuff if you want to. On my own node, I just put the latitude and longitude, and I left everything blank. everything else as is, because I do not have an actual repeater, so no frequency, tone, or anything. And then down here, put your all-star node number. And mine is 64074. Okay, after that, you want to save it and exit. Next, we need to go into another file. There we go. And then go down until you see channels right here. Channels. You need to find Echolink, which is right here, and you need to just get rid of the no in front of load. And then save that and exit. Now we need to validate your call sign for Echolink with the link with the -L. There is a difference between your normal call sign and the -L and the -R. So you need to go ahead and enter your call sign with -L or -R, whatever you set up in that configuration file we were just in. I did KC3 YWT-L because it's just a link. You can see mine is already validated, but you'll have to do some stuff to validate it. It might not validate right away. And make sure you enter the password as the same one you put into the config file we just edited. After it has been validated, you need to go to this link, and all of this are in the notes. I have everything in there you would need. But you need to put your Echolink call sign with the -L or -R, and it will tell you your node number. This is after it's been validated. You won't get anything till it's been validated. But I'm going to go ahead and copy that. Then you need to go back here, and we're going to go back into the echolink.conf. And then you want to come down here to node, and you want to put in that Echolink node number. There is a difference between the Allstar and Echolink node numbers. Okay, that did not work. So I need to pull it back up. 271609. So that's good now. Okay. Then you need to exit out of that and save it. Now, for Echolink, you must port forward. Echolink will not work if you do not port forward. So you need to port forward. I'm just going to show this here. You need to port forward ports 5198 and 5199 incoming to your node using UDP. You need to allow, obviously, outgoing through those, but only allow outgoing to 5200. Do not route that incoming. Echolink does not use that. And that would just be an open port for people to be able to get into your system. You don't want that. But that is TCP. I have here, do not port forward it to your node. And then just final things. After you've port forwarded, Echolink will not work until you've port forwarded. But you want to go ahead and reboot your system now. So sudo reboot. And then I'm going to give that a minute to reboot. And then after it reboots, Echolink should be up and running. So you should be able to go on Echolink and search your call sign, and it should show up with the -L or -R. So that should be good to go. As soon as this is done rebooting, we're going to start on Allmon3. Okay, it has now rebooted, and I am logged back in as root. So now we're going to start installing Allmon3. First, switch to the TMP directory. Run this command. And then we're going to have to run this command again, which we'd used during the Allstarlink installation, because it wasn't liking the line after that. So that's the line that fixes it. Again, I don't know exactly what it does, but it fixes it. And then we're going to run this line. Let that do its thing. And then run that to update it. Make sure the installation we're trying to use is updated. And give this a second. Okay. Then we're going to go ahead and install it. And then this should take a minute or a couple minutes, so I'll get back to you when it's done. Okay, Allmon3 is now installed. I'm going to go ahead and clear this so there's not so much there. Now we need to start configuring Allmon3. So first we need to go here, and right here next to secret, you want to go ahead and change that to a reasonably secure password. I don't think it really matters unless you're going to port forward your dashboard. I don't know why you would, but I'm going to make that I'm going to just go ahead and do that. Then I'm going to copy that. And this is the same password that is that's in the Allstar menu under AMI password, but it's easier to change it here. So I'm going to go ahead, exit, save. Now we need to configure Allmon3. So go here. Okay, something's not right. Okay, I figured it out. We're gonna go into the directory there and then edit the file. So you want to come down here, the very bottom. You need to get rid of the things in front of these so they're not commented out. This needs changed to your Allstar node number. Okay, and then this needs changed to the password that you just set in the last password. Okay, hang on. Okay, it's not gonna work. So I gotta type it in manually. And then I'm just gonna make sure I did that right. Okay. If you don't have this password right, it will not work. So then go ahead and exit that. Now we need to delete the default password to log into the dashboard. Okay. Okay, this should work. And the stuff that isn't working, I will fix it all in the notes. Okay, there we go. That time it worked. Okay, and then we want to go ahead and run this to create a new user and set the password. So this is where you want to enter the password you want to use for the dashboard. So I'm gonna go ahead and put mine in. All the stuff we've been doing in this last part, it doesn't have to be that secure. Well, it doesn't really need to be secure at all, unless you're going to port forward your dashboard to outside of just your local network. After you do that, it is time for another reboot. And after the reboot, your Allmon3 Dashboard should be up and running. So I will see you when that's done. Okay. Okay, sorry I had my mic down. Okay, so the system is now rebooted, and your Allmon3 Dashboard should now be active. So go ahead and type in either the IP address or the host name. I'm going to be doing the host name, and you want to do /Allmon3. And there we go. Our dashboard is now up. You want to hit login. The username will be admin. The password is going to be the one that you set as the last part of the configuration. And there we go. Now that we've logged in, okay, it will allow us to run commands. So first is just this: when you're connected to another node, it'll tell you where that's at. This is on ASLRink. This is sort of like that thing we set up in the All-Star menu when we were setting it up. If you want to allow it broadcasting to the ASLRink site. But yeah, no connections. I'm not connected to anything right now. This is how you can connect, disconnect, monitor. I don't know what local monitor means, but we're going to be connecting. I'm going to put in the number of my main node, then execute, command successful. And there you can see it is connected. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a great dashboard. It is a lot easier to connect and disconnect. You don't have to go into the client and then run commands. And when you're disconnecting, even easier, you can just click this X, and then it'll automatically set it to disconnect and put the number in. You can hit execute, and it will disconnect. I'm going to reconnect it real quick. It even saved it there. Just to show you, here's the map. It might take it a second. But connections, you can see it's connected to that node now. Key up time. This is just from that telemetry. The key ups too. The bubble chart should be working now. But normally that would tell you what node you were connected to. I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect now. And then finally here, you can execute system commands. For example, I'm gonna do show uptime. You don't have to do anything to the command box unless you're running your own command. But there, I ran that, and you can see 4 minutes and 43 seconds. If I want to do, oh yeah, you do custom command. I'm gonna do link status. Okay, and it's not connected to anything, so I'm gonna just connect real quick, and then that should change. So we do here, and then link status. You can see there that it's giving me the details on the node I'm connected to now. On the node status. It gives you all kinds of stuff. But yeah, great dashboard. At this point, you should have Allstar, Echolink, and Allmon3 fully working. Just make sure you get those port forwards done, or Echolink absolutely won't work. And if you want other people to be able to connect to you, I didn't port forward anything here, but as you can see, I'm able to connect to other nodes without port forwarding. So you don't have to port forward to connect to other nodes. You do if you want them to be able to connect to you. But there you go. You should be up and running. If this video is helpful to you, please feel free to drop a like. I will be making a whole bunch more videos on Allstar and setting things up. If you want to see more stuff like this, feel free to subscribe and help me out. Post notifications up to you. I don't care. But yeah, thanks for watching. And yeah, I'll have all the notes from this down in the description. And hopefully you check out another video. Thanks.